What would happen if the world was ran by vampires? Well, you're gonna find out in this video because I will be surviving 100 days of Minecraft hardcore but as a vampire. I only have one goal, and that goal is to make sure that the world is ran by vampires. And I want to become the strongest of all the vampires there is. You can also be a vampire hunter in this mod, so let me know in the comments if you would like to see me survive 100 days but as a vampire hunter. Anyways, if you enjoyed, then please make sure to drop a like and subscribe because this video took a really long time to make. Anyways, let the 100 days begin. Day 1, I spawned in a spruce forest. I collected some wood and also some berries for food. I then looked around when I found a camp where some vampire hunters lived in. I stole their things so they cannot kill my kind anymore. I kept exploring and ran into a village. I took a bed and went mining. Before we become a vampire, I must have all the starter gear and also a place to live. Day 2, I was in the cave. I mined a ton of stone and a lot of iron. I almost died as well. I then killed a couple of vampires and smelt all my iron and got as much gear as I could. It was time to leave the cave. I left and went exploring again. Day 3, I was finally out of the annoying sprucewood forest. I also got the just enough item mod so it's easier to find recipes for items. I spent the rest of the day checking out the items in this mod. Day 4, I was running in a birch forest and it turned night. I then spotted a vampire. I knew this was the perfect time to get bit. Basically, if you turn your back on them and slowly back up, then they sneakily bite you and give you a potion effect, which in 20 minutes will turn you into a vampire. Day 5, I ran into a village by a vampire biome. The vampires were super aggressive against me as I hadn't turned into one of them yet. I killed some of the vampires by myself and killed the other by the rest of the iron golem. Day 6, and I'm finally a vampire now. As you can see, from now on, food is no help to me. I need blood, and I need a lot of it. I'm finally a blood-sucking monster. Things were gonna get fun now. As great as vampires are, we have a lot of weaknesses like water, and the biggest weakness, which is the sun. This means everything I have to do at night. I cannot go out in daylight anymore. Day 7, a vampire baron attacked me. Also, I've been kind of stacking on some blood from these villagers using bottles. It's good in case I ever need to go exploring far away. I spent the rest of the day sucking some villagers dry out of their blood. Day 8, I started collecting blood. I made around 9 bottles and started getting blood in them. I needed blood with me at all times like I would usually need food. Also, one more thing, there are different levels to vampirism. You can unlock cool new abilities every time you level up. I wanted to max my level and become a level 5 lord. And be the strongest vampire there is. And I also wanted to defeat the Ender Dragon and the Wither as a vampire. Day 9, I started to work on a small house. I dug out a small hole and I decorated a little bit. I added a floor to it and some chests. I just needed a place to store my stuff in. I doubt I'll ever use a house unless it's to hide from the sun. Day 10, I was collecting some blood when I suddenly started a village raid. I sent all my vampire army to the village and they started taking it over. And soon the village was under the control of vampires. Day 11, remember when I was collecting all that blood? Well, now it's time to use it. I made an altar of inspiration which was super easy and cheap, and I added the blood in it. After filling the altar up, I right clicked it and it leveled me up. Now I had permanent night vision. I want to go get the skill where I can become a bat whenever I want. By day 13, I had unlocked the other 2 skills as well, and now I could turn into a bat and fly whenever, as long as it's nighttime. Just gotta be careful to not leave this biome while flying in daytime or I will fall to my death. Now things were starting to get fun and exciting. Day 14, I started off by making a vampire baron mat. It was then time to go mining. It was time to get some diamonds, get geared up, defeat the Ender Dragon so we can then move on to some other exciting things. Day 15, I found my first diamonds. It was a vein of 4 which was great. I then made a diamond pickaxe and collected some obsidian as well. I then ran into a huge ravine at diamond level, but sadly there were no diamonds there. Anyways, here's a couple clips of me finding anything that's important in this mining trip. Day 20 and we're back with 32 diamonds, 16 obsidian, a music disc and some other goodies. That was a really successful mining trip because I mainly went for diamonds and we were able to find 35 diamonds. We also had some blood bottles left over, which was great. Day 21, I spent exploring as a bat. I found another village and started a vampire raid in it. I also stocked up on blood again from the villagers. I needed as much blood as possible. Day 23, I was back to my house and I had a lot of blood. I crafted myself full diamond armor, which felt great. I wasn't gonna use it yet until I beat the dragon and have XP to enchant them. Day 24, I went to the Nether. One thing I loved about the Nether is I could explore as a bat. There was a bastion right at spawn, so I looted it and everything it had in it. Day 25, I found another bastion. I collected a ton of gold blocks from this bastion and then looted all of its chests. I got a lot of arrows and gold from these two bastions. I also got some ancient debris, which was great. Day 27, I finally found a fortress. One disadvantage of being a bat is you cannot mine blocks and also cannot go near any mobs because you only have 2 hearts. Anyways, I camped a blaze spawner for a little bit, killing blazes. Day 28, I got all the blaze rods I needed and head back home. Day 29, before I went home, I started trading with some piglins for pearls. I had 3 stacks of gold, so I was gonna get a lot of goods. I spent a couple of days trading over 2 stacks of my gold. Day 32, and I had 15 ender pearls. I left the Nether with some amazing loot. I had a ton of iron, a ton of gold, 3 ancient debris, and some other useful items. Day 33, I threw my first Eye of Ender and it started traveling. Sadly, it was daytime, so exploring for the stronghold wasn't gonna be as easy because I burned in the sun. Luckily, it turned nighttime, so I switched to a bat and started to fly. Day 34, I found the stronghold and found a library. I quickly grabbed as many books as I could and then left. I then found the portal room and I filled it in. This is it, we're gonna fight the dragon for the first time as a vampire. Day 35, I started off with the towers. I took them all out and then it was time to kill the dragon. It was a really close fight as I got dangerously low a couple times, but finally after a long fight I defeated the ender dragon with my fist as a vampire. Day 36, the ender dragon was defeated and I collected the XP. I got to level 66 and when I hit the dragon egg, it disappeared. I sadly couldn't find it. I usually would go to the end city at this part, but I can turn into a bat, so I don't really need an elytra, so I went back home. I spent a couple days enchanting and making sure I get some decent gear to save me from mobs like skeletons and zombies. I also needed some protection from the vampire barons. They are OP. Day 40, it was time to start leveling myself up as a vampire. I spent a lot of days doing this. I expanded the front of my house and set up the altar of infusion. With this altar, I could infuse more blood and power into myself to level up. It was also an expensive build. It required a ton of gold and stone bricks. Day 42, I had it all set up and I right-clicked the altar. It gave some particles and then infused a ton of blood in me. My whole screen turned red and I was finally level 5 now. I used my skill point to unlock sunscreen ability. With sunscreen, I can be protected from the sun for a certain amount of time. Day 44, I went off exploring for a while. I filled up all my blood bottles with some blood because I was running out. I also destroyed a lot of vampire hunters on the way. The reason I was exploring was to find vampirism books so I could use it on the altar to level up. Day 47, I was back home and I had all the things needed to level up a couple of times. I just needed some more pillars which I crafted so the ritual place was good to go. Day 48, I used the altar again and it went through the same process and I was finally level 6. For my skill point, I chose permanent speed because I needed to be fast if I ever wanted to go exploring in daytime. I needed to be able to get underneath trees quick. Day 49, I added some more pillar points. Basically, the pillars around the altar can be filled with certain blocks, gold giving you the highest points. Gold blocks give 3 pillar points and for each level up, you need a certain amount of points. For my ability, I chose Blood Vision. One more level up and I could unlock an ability where creepers wouldn't attack me anymore. I'm not gonna bore you every time I level up. It was the same process and a very long process as well. I kept exploring for books and pure blood. I also kept upgrading the pillars for more points to be able to upgrade. Basically, I did the same thing for a couple of hours and got to level 14. I unlocked many cool new abilities which were very helpful. I also fought a lot of vampire barons. By day 67, I was a level 14 vampire. Yes, it truly took this long to get to this level. It might not seem like a lot, but getting those books were the hardest thing I've ever done in Minecraft. I also had a ton of extra hearts now, basically making me super OP. Day 68, I wanted to go back to spawn because there was a village at spawn I wanted to take over. I head off to find spawn. After a day, I realized I was lost and didn't know where spawn was, so I head back home. Day 70, I was back home safe and alive. For the last 30 days, I want to defeat the Wither and also become a level 5 Lord and become the strongest vampire there is. This will be very hard to do in just 30 days, but I'll hopefully get it done. Day 71, I went to the Nether exploring for bastions to get gold. I needed a ton of gold for the upcoming upgrades and level ups. Day 72, I found a bastion and looted it. I looted all its gold and resources. There was luckily another bastion right next to it, so I looted that one as well. I now had over 40 blocks of golds to my name. I then head back home. Day 74, it was time to become a vampire lord. After you get to level 14, you cannot level up the regular way anymore. You have to use a vampire representative in a village to give you a quest. And if you complete that quest, you get the lord title. So I started the quest up. Day 75, 3 of the objectives were done as they were easy. I had to get gold, some pure blood, and capture 3 villages which I've already done. The only thing that was left to do was to turn some creatures into vampires. So I spent a couple of days turning sheep, pigs, and cows and horses into vampires. Day 77, I was now a level 1 lord. To level up as a lord, you have to do the quests which are super easy. My second quest was to give gold, pure blood, and kill vampire hunters. I had 2 of it completed and I finished the third one in no time. I just had to camp a tent where vampire hunters would spawn in. Day 79, I was a vampire lord level 2. I'm not gonna bore you as the quests are almost all the same for all 5 levels. It's just you need different amount of gold, pure blood, and you also need to kill a certain amount of vampire hunters. By day 84, I was Lord level 5, which actually was also called a Prince. At this level, I got rewarded some minion control bands, which means I could make vampires my minions. Now I could have bodyguards as vampires. I got my first minion, and you can do many things like make it collect blood for you, or you can make it defend you or follow you, which is really cool. Day 85, I used the rest of my minion bands I had gotten as rewards to get 3 more minions. I now had 4 minions to my name. I gave them all gear and sent them all to collect me blood because I hate collecting blood. I then used my 4 ancient debris and made a netherite ingot and added it to my leggings. Day 86, I was doing pretty good. I had great gear. I had maxed out my lord level, which was also amazing. I also had 4 minions which could get me blood, so I do not have to. I was now the strongest vampire to ever live. I now needed to defeat the Wither, and also my plan was to kill at least 10 vampire barons. Day 87, I started killing some barons. They do a lot of damage and have a ton of health, but I'm too strong, so I defeated them all. It was now time to get 3 Wither skulls so I can defeat the Wither and finally end this video with having both bosses defeated. Day 88, I went to the Nether fortress and started killing Wither skeletons. Day 89, I found my first ever Wither skull in this world and got really lucky with this. I didn't have looting 3, but I was still able to get my first skull in a short time. By day 93, I had all 3 Wither skulls and left the Nether. I went home and dug down. I then dug out a straight line and spawned in the Wither. Day 94, it was an easy fight and the Wither was defeated. I was doing super good and now I wanted to test something out. Would my minions defend me if I was to attack other vampire barons? I called them back to me and they do. I spent the rest of the days running around the forest with my minions and completely destroying every vampire baron in the area because I am the only vampire in charge now. I was truly the lord of all vampires now and was the strongest vampire with the strongest minions in the world. That's it. This is how I survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft but as a vampire. Once again, let me know in the comments if you want me to try this mod as a vampire hunter. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, then please make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Also make sure to join my Discord server, link in the description. Anyways, see y'all in the next video.